What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You know what it is, man. Alright, so we ain't on no topics today. We just talking about shit that I fuck with and I do not fuck with right now. You know what I'm saying? Like just random shit. I don't care whether it's heavyweight, welterweight, lightweight, featherweight, bantamweight. We just talking shit. Now, some shit has got to give in this sport, bruh. It's got to give in this sport. We got guys that are pound for pound #1 in the world, best fighter in the fucking world, not getting recognized by other organizations. What is a slight? You'll mention a fucking regular champion, which isn't even the whole version of a belt, of a WBA, talking about Manny Pacquiao, but y'all don't mention Terrence Crawford. We got guys in the same promotion finally getting to the point where they gonna fight each other. And that ain't even no knock to Shawn Porter. It took Errol Spence a while to sign the fucking contract. Well, that's not even my gripe with that. You know what I'm saying? Quite frankly, I've been past looking at Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford because that ain't nothing but a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Not on Bud's behalf, but on Errol Spence's behalf. I say that because 9 months ago when ES News and Fight Hype and all of them guys pulled up, when they were in the back of the arena, when Terrence Crawford pulled up on Errol Spence at a PBC event solely because he wanted to make the fight and he wanted all the smoke. And what did your man do? I'd rather, why not go take the easy route, fight Keith Thurman, or fight Shawn Porter? Well, my whole thing is this. My nigga, you been taking easy routes. You been taking easy routes. Chris Van Heerden, that was the easy route. Punch Drunk Lamont Peterson, that was the easy route. Broken Orbital Bone, fucking Kell Brook, great fighter. You didn't even make that look easy, but considering the injury and all of that, that was the easy route, man. When are we going to take the tough road travel? First, and then you supposed to be the so-called boogeyman of the division, and every American, you know what I'm saying, black cock riding fighter, you know, black man that cock rides all black fighters and shit like that. Like we on this pro blackity black wokety woke shit. Like this ain't fucking going into 2020 and niggas can make whatever, you know what I'm saying, paths they want to blaze, whatever trails they want to blaze in life, they can do that. Niggas is acting like there's a problem with racism in the sport, with promotion, etc., etc. The problem is with you motherfuckers is y'all don't fucking read your shit. Y'all don't have people that y'all can trust reading all your contracts, signing your shit. We got fighters that are over the top elite, like Tank Davis, which like I already said in the last video, he good with me because he's so young. You know what I'm saying? But now he's talking about Tevin Farmer and that shit. But when is it really gonna come to fruition? Especially with them big fucking offers that they already done sent over there. You know, the only way boxing is ever gonna get off the fucking island, bro, is if the fans stop locking in. I don't care if it's PBC, DAZN, Top Rank. Stop locking into these fluffernutter ass fights, man, and start locking in and demanding true competition in the sport. Y'all want change in the sport. You have to demand the change in the sport. And it's truth. It's truth, and the proof is in the pudding that when DeLeon White was getting screwed over for them 600 days, when all of the British fans and all the true fans of boxing came together and started going on social media, saying this and that about Mauricio Suleiman, he got in his feelings and he felt smited, but that made him want to put his foot on the gas and try to look at himself like, you know, he's a decent individual, a fair individual, and he wants to do the right thing by DeLeon White. Well, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got guys that been running. We got guys that been ducking. We got guys that just, it seems like, you want to know what boxing seems to me like these days, man? It's more or less like wrestling. The media outlets, they already have the questions they want to ask, and it's like, they already know the batteries that they have put in their back and the questions they're going to ask everybody. And it's so redundant. And they move with that narrative and then the rest of the world follows. Like people will put, you know, certain things in your mind to make you believe that situations are perceived a certain way in boxing, and you will follow that, you know. Perception and reality are two completely different things. Like the perception of Errol Spence being the boogeyman. The perception of there's a three-headed dragon in boxing. The perception of you're on the wrong side of the street. Boxing isn't an interstate. It's a business. It's a business to where men are supposed to lock horns. The best are supposed to fight the best. And when I look at only a couple of hungry individuals, Gary Russell on the PBC, clearly it seems like he wants to get out of it because he can't even get the fights he wants with Al Haymon. Terrence Crawford is willing to fight anybody on this planet and has the hunger of a guy that just came in with no fucking belt. He can't even get a fight. Where Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford's first fight might not do the craziest pay-per-view buys, it's going to sell and it's going to be extremely successful. But as I've said before, it's going to turn into a mega fight and those guys are going to become mega stars. They are stars, but they're only stars to you and me, the hardcore fans of boxing, because there aren't a lot of eyes on boxing. You know, we got Canelo running around here, franchise champion, and the whole world is just telling him he should be able to fight whoever he wants. He should be able to do whatever he wants to do and hold belts hostage. I don't agree with that shit at all. You know, he's the only person with the luxury that is able to fight anybody he wants as is. Nobody else can do that. Like when this the shit that fucks me up. When we stop recognizing pound for pound guys as champions on promotion, which shouldn't even be a promotional thing, that's just a boxing thing. That's a boxing in a whole. You're a champion, you're a champion. Post them all up there. Show people the competition that's out there. It ain't even about promotional value. You're just stating the facts. The facts are that Terrence Crawford is a champion, and you're not recognizing that. And the thing about Errol Spence is, and y'all so gassed on him, and I'm not even sold on this kid yet. You want to know why? His performances are the reason I'm not sold on him. There is no way that a person as a lightweight comes up 2 weight classes, never campaigned there, and you can't even knock him on his ass. He could have trapped. You trapped him several times, and you couldn't knock him out. All 12 rounds, you couldn't knock him out. Now, the Shawn Porter Errol Spence fight interests me a lot. You want to know why? Because nobody really pressures Errol Spence. And Shawn Porter is at the weight. So Shawn Porter's going to throw a lot of punches and he's going to put pressure on him. He's going to have to stay pressuring Errol Spence. So I want to see how he's going to do within that moment. And Shawn Porter is in nowhere near elite. He's a B minus fighter, or a B fighter if I want to be nice at best. His heart is at an A plus, but he's a B fighter. You know, so if Shawn Porter doesn't go out, so if Errol Spence, not Shawn Porter, if Errol Spence doesn't go out there and perform in a spectacular manner against Shawn Porter, what other questions do you need to be answered about him and Terrence Crawford, even if we don't get the match? Why would even anybody say anything else about the match? What I'm saying is, if he can't fucking knock Shawn Porter out or get him out of the way in spectacular fashion, what do you think he could do with the sharpness of the orthodox or the southpaw or the back foot or the front foot or the multiple angles of a Terrence Crawford and the power at that? I almost feel like shit. I wish Terrence Crawford stayed at 140, because I've heard other people on other boxing channels talking about Terrence Crawford signed with the wrong promotion because they got most of the belts over there. Absolutely not. PBC is the wrong promotion right now because they're not willing to play well with others. Since the beginning of time, co-promotion has been the way to make the mega fights the way we see guys, the Clash of the Titans. And we're not seeing the Clash of the Titans. We're seeing guys that promote themselves as Titans, guys that think that they're, top-notch champions, but they don't fight top-notch opponents. I refuse to make any excuse for any fighter. I refuse to make any excuse for any situation. Any fighter that I fuck with, if they not doing what the fuck they supposed to do, I'm going to pull them up on their shit. Point blank, period. The whole problem with boxing right now is we as Americans, Englishmen, the whole United Kingdom, Asia, Africa, all over the world, we are not using social media for the powers that it has, which is the ability to call people out on their bullshit, the ability to demand better, the ability to use our social media likeness to demand more out of the sport. All we gonna do for the rest of our fucking lives at the state of boxing then is talk about this person is ducking this person and that person is ducking that person. It's absolutely fucking outrageous, completely egregious, man. It's a fucked up state that the sport is in. But when you got Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum coming together, and I don't care if you like them as people or promoters, I don't care if you're a fan of PBC or whatever, but you see they're bringing guys together of champion status and getting those guys in the ring, and they're fighting, and they're putting on great fights. We should be able to get this shit all across the board. Should nobody be hijacked or stuck up? When I hear motherfuckers say that the mandatory position isn't to guarantee that a person gets a fight with you nowadays, that's absolutely outrageous. The reason mandatory status was put in place was to protect the fairness of the sport for other fighters. If you're a mandated fighter, you're supposed to be in the ring with this guy in 9 fucking months. Who decides out of popularity, who decides out of favoritism for a promotional outfit or whatever, how long to keep somebody out of the ring? You got Dominic Brazil overlooking DeLeon White. That's an old story. You know what I mean? Like, there's guys with heart out here that are willing to step up and fight anybody. Like, y'all gotta respect Anthony Yard for going over to Russia to fight Sergey Kovalev, and I feel like he's gonna get stopped early. But that's no knock to him. He's willing. He's a knockout artist of C-level opponents, but he's stepped up from a C-level opponent to an A-level opponent to try to make a statement, a huge statement, a statement that is going to grant a lot of respect from me. Basically, what I'm saying is, man, I'm a nigga of mass principles and mad morals, man. And I always try to tell y'all we got to honor the game. And I tell y'all constantly that boxing is a Rubik's Cube. The sport of boxing is a Rubik's Cube that we are so eloquently and constantly trying to solve because of the complexities and the bullshit that happens in the sport. Something has got to give. Like when we are spending more of our time, and I think I heard Boom Man say something about this shit earlier today, why he ain't even been inspired to post. When we're focusing the bullshit on our time, talking about, okay, Deontay Wilder saying this as he said, or Wilder saying that, or, and the gossip around certain fighters, that's when we know that our sport has become a cesspool of gossip, man. There are great fighters out here. There are great fighters out here that have the hearts of a lion that are willing to get in the ring with anybody. But not all of the fighters are the ones doing the shucking and jiving. There are fighters that got managers behind them that just don't believe in them and don't want to put them in the ring. You know what I mean? Because they're afraid that they're going to ruin the fighter, or they're afraid to get a loss on their record. Man, that zero is a fucking toxic thing, man. The old shit has got to go, man. Like, seriously, people need to fight. You want to know why you're going to only make a baseline amount of money? You want to know why guys aren't securing their popularity? You want to know why guys aren't seeing the top of the mountain? You want to know why there's only one Canelo Alvarez, one Anthony Joshua? Because of their resumes, bodies of work, and how fast they're willing to do it. Canelo was only 21, 22 years old when he fucking ballsed up and got in the ring with Floyd Mayweather? Look at him now. Look at all of the fighters he's fought now. Guys got over 50 fucking plus wins, man. Look at Manny Pacquiao at 40 years old and the fighters he's still willing to fight. As a 40-year-old man that's gone over to the PBC, that realized he was in 147, like, I'm going to clean all of these motherfuckers up. Because Manny Pacquiao probably sees the same thing in these fighters at 147, except Bud Crawford, that I see. I'm focusing a lot of my attention on the 140 division. You want to know why? Because I got to see Ivan Baranchyk, and I got to see Josh Taylor. I'm gonna get to see Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. I just got to see Ramirez and Mighty Mo Hooker. These are guys that are willing to get in the ring and fight. Regis Prograis is willing to fight anybody. That nigga even wanted Bud Crawford when he was at 140 and he was still coming up. But he already done moved up. It's almost like, man, I wish I could tell Bud Crawford to move down, but when you a tough person and you in a tough position, man, you supposed to be able to maneuver your way around it, keep a level head, think about it, and find your way to flourish in it. Being a top boxer in that sport, man, I just think he should campaign in those divisions, start knocking everybody out in them joints, but at the end of the day, they're already letting us know that mandatory don't mean shit, but he has a title. Unifications mean something, and for the business of the sport, if we want the sport to succeed, you got to mix it up, man. Point blank period. You got to mix it up. A lot of these conversations is uninspiring. Everybody's ducking everybody, man. If that's the case, man, promotional companies are the reason why everybody's ducking everybody. Tank Davis really want to fight to Tevin Farmer. But you want to know why he can't get in the ring with Tevin Farmer? He can't get in the ring with Tevin Farmer because that's not what Floyd Mayweather wants. Tevin Farmer's going to go at you, try to knock your fucking head off. He's an aggressive fighter. Tevin Farmer's a pure boxer. Philly Shell's going to stay in. He's going to counter you on every move. And he's perfect with his timing. But I still think Tank was going to knock him the fuck out. And I love Tevin Farmer, man. And that's another thing, too. If y'all want some good shit to watch on boxing that y'all ain't seen, man, go watch Tevin Farmer, man. Scrap to Success, part 1, 2, and 3. That shit is fire. It shows him on his way to getting the IBF belt after he got fucked in the first fight on the IBF. But yeah, man, like, we got to find a way to, you know what I mean, bring more prestige to the game to get more active, more active killers in the ring with other active killers, man. We spending too much of our time focusing on the things that don't amount to anything in boxing, man. I'm looking at guys like F.A. Ajagba. I'm looking at guys like Daniel Dubois. I'm looking at guys like Alexander Usyk. I'm looking at guys like Regis Prograis. I'm looking at guys like Noya Nui. I'm looking at a bunch of guys that are just willing to jump in the ring. Terrence Crawford, the usual suspects. But more importantly, man, I'm looking for better outcomes to happen in this sport. I mean better outcomes by saying, man, I'm looking for more people to get in here and want to fight. More dogs to fight more dogs. Not more dogs chasing more pussycats, because that's what's going on. We got a lot of dogs chasing pussycats. And for those guys that can't get, you know what I'm saying, the other guys that have belts in that division, man, fuck it. If you believe in yourself that much, fine. You know what I mean? If you can't get a dog or find a killer, you got to go find that dog or find that killer and get them in the ring. Because the other guys don't want to play ball, man. There's always going to be a guy at another weight up or weight down. Challenge yourself. Find a guy with heart, get in the ring with him, and scrap that shit out. The fact of the matter is, man, we got to fight this shit out. The heavyweight division is such a cesspool of bullshit right now as far as the way people are thinking about it and the things that are happening in the division. Because to be perfectly honest, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are slowing down the show. Because when you got two guys that's like, yo, I want to fight any of y'all motherfuckers, which is Andy Ruiz and which is Anthony Joshua, they like, yo, I'll fight any of y'all motherfuckers. Line them up. I'm going to knock them down. But then you got guys like Tyson Fury that's like, nah, I'm going to pick Tom Schwartz. So then you got Deontay Wilder's like, nah, I got to run this Ortiz thing back. That's slowing down that fucking whole division. And there's a whole bunch of guys. You got your Hergovich, you got your Gassievs, you got your, like I said, your Usyks. You got your Ajagbas, you got your Dubois, you got your Yokas, you got so many guys that's laying in wait to get a shot. Basically, man, boxing is a sport like, it takes a crazy motherfucker to love boxing, man. I must be that crazy motherfucker. I don't know, man. I was just talking random shit about the sport. I ain't talking about no. I'm starting to do, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm starting to do shit a little different. Instead of talking about these topics and these news shits that keep popping out and putting y'all up on that shit, man, y'all read that shit as much as I do. I'm gonna start bringing y'all some more conscious, thought-provoking, boxing talk that's just coming from me, period. Because when you think at a high level of consciousness, people are gonna move people are gonna feel what you're saying, and then that's gonna, you know, that's gonna bring results. So we need more guys that love the sport with a high level of consciousness to speak, not out their ass like a bunch of these LDBC guys, man. To to really, you know, to really talk that real shit about the sport, man, and get the sport to move forward in the light that we all wanted to be in. Competitive boxing, less bullshit and less corrupt shit, better referees, better judges, better testing, more transparency in the sport. That's it, man. Hey, well, I done spent 20 minutes just talking to y'all about random shit. This has kind of got me thinking in the sport, man. As we always say, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. If y'all haven't subscribed, go subscribe to DT3 The Boom Man. Go subscribe to Sport and Icon. Subscribe to Bruce Vane. Subscribe to Myron Magnus. Subscribe to Boxing Beats and Rhymes. Subscribe to Ring IQ. Yeah, man. That's it. Respect.